Good morning, second and third grade students. So this week for science, we are going to be looking at the world of magnets. All right, so first off, we need to know that magnets have two poles. So any magnet will always have two poles to them. So the first one is going to be negative, and we see that with what we would say like the minus sign in math, and also the positive sign. So in math, that'd be our addition sign. So if you were to look at a battery is always going to have a positive side to it and a negative side. So no matter what kind of battery we are looking at, whether it's a battery that we put in a toy, or a battery that we put in our cell phone, or even a battery that we put in our car, every magnet is always going to have two poles, and a battery is always going to have two poles to them, both negative and positive. All right, so with opposites are always going to attract each other. So in a way, they hold hands. So if we took a positive side and a negative side of a magnet, they are going to stick together. And then on the other hand, likes are going to repel each other. So when we talk about the word repel, we're talking about that they want to ignore each other. So if you took a magnet with the negative side and another magnet with a negative side and you try to put them together, you're going to feel that tension. They don't want to go together. So that's going to happen if you try to put a negative and a negative together, or if you try to put a positive and a positive together. They are going to always repel each other. All right, so a magnetic field is the area around a magnet where it can attract or repel things. All right, so let's just do a quick review here. So this is going to be part of the IXL homework, so this will definitely help you with that. So we need to remember that magnets can pull or push on each other without touching. So when magnets attract, they pull together. So they want to come together. And when magnets repel, they push apart. So that's when they don't fully come together. Whether a magnet attracts or repels other magnets depends on the positions of its poles or the ends. So every magnet, again, has two poles on it, both north and south. So then we have some examples of what magnets can look like. So the north pole of each magnet is marked with a capital N, and the south pole is marked with a capital S. So if different poles are closest to each other, the magnets attract. The magnets in the pair below, so in this picture right here, the magnets in the pair will attract because a south is trying to attract to a north. But if the same poles are closest to each other, the magnets repel. So the magnets in both pairs below repel. So we notice that the south pole is close to the other south pole, and then in this one the north pole is closest to the north pole on this one. So these magnets will not come together, they will repel each other. So here's an example of what you might see on IXL. So in the directions it's asking, will these magnets attract or repel? To find out, look at which poles are closest to each other. So we see that the south is trying to come towards the North Pole on this magnet. So it says the south pole of one magnet is closest to the north pole of the other magnet. So poles that are different attract. So these magnets we know will attract each other. So again, this is what you're going to be seeing on your IXL, and that is our lesson for today.